introduce our new superintendent of East Allen County Schools, Dr. Kenneth Folks.
Good morning.
Good morning.
All right. Well, first of all, I haven't really prepared any remarks. I just want to say how excited I am to be in East Allen. I am born and raised in Allen County. I was born at Parkview Hospital back in 1957 and went to Snyder High School, 2 degrees from IPFW and my doctorate from Purdue University. Recently, I've been the assistant superintendent for instruction in Marion Community Schools. Prior to that, I was at Northwest Allen County for 10 years. I went to Northwest Allen in 2000. For 4 years, was principal of Carroll Middle School. And then from 2004 to 2010, principal of the brand new Carroll Freshman Center. I was fortunate I got to be part of the architect to design that new concept. Prior to that, I was a teacher and coach at Norwell High School and Norwell Middle School from 1983 to 2000. My first 14 years, I taught social studies, biology, I coached football, I was the head wrestling coach. My last 3 years in Northwest, I was the assistant principal athletic director at Norwell Middle School for a year, and then assistant principal at Norwell High School for 2 years. And I got my start teaching down in the Rio Grande Valley of Texas, near the Mexican border. Graduated from IPFW here in Fort Wayne, and there were some advertisements for jobs down in South Texas. So I applied, got the job, and so my first 2 years were in Santa Rosa Junior Senior High School, which the nearest large city there is Harlingen, Texas. I taught 8th grade science, and I coached football, basketball, and track. Just really excited to be here. My experience in Marion has really taught me that no challenge is too great. I was hired 3 years ago in Marion as the chief academic officer, with my major focus to get Marion High School off of the 5th year academic probation, which my superintendent, Steve Edwards, assembled a great team of which I was part of. We were able to accomplish that in 1 year. Marion High School went from 4 or 5 years of F to a C. Last year we missed a B by 0.05 of a percentage point. And this year we think Marion High School will be a strong B. So I think those experiences I've had working with instruction and working with an urban district, I think those experiences will really help me here in East Allen. And I'm just delighted that the board has the faith in me and have invited me to take on this task. So,
what was it that attracted you to Northwest Allen in the first place? To apply for the position, yeah.
In East Allen? Mm-hmm. Challenges. I love challenges, and I know, living in Allen County, and I read the paper, I know that all school districts have issues, and I know that there's challenges in East Allen. I just felt like my experience, I could come here and help make a difference. And I have a heart for Allen County because this is my home. This is where I was born and raised, and so being a part of a school corporation in a high-profile position like superintendent of East Allen was very attractive to me. And when I met with the board in our interview process, I think we just clicked. I think it's mutual. I feel like it's a board that we can really become a team and work together. I feel the board has that same outlook and same perspective, that we could really hit it off. Again, the attraction is that I think I'm at that part of my career where I'm ready to be a superintendent, and I'm just fortunate that East Allen offered me the opportunity to do it here.
You said you love the challenge. What do you see as the biggest challenge facing this district that you're going to tackle first?
I think challenges right now for me is I have to seek first to understand. I've got to get out in the buildings. I've got to pick the brains of the people who are here and find out what is on their minds. I think having the absence of a leader for a few months and not having that superintendent, that leader to look at, I think that has created some challenge for the district. And so hopefully I can come in and fill that void and be the link, the liaison between our staff, our community, our patrons, and the board.
But there are obviously some challenges facing this district, as there are with any other school district. So of those, once you get over the initial hurdle of getting to know people, getting your feet settled here, what would you like to tackle first?
Well, I'm a curriculum instruction and assessment guy. I really feel like student academic achievement, that's where our focus needs to be. So the first thing I'm going to do, actually later today, is sit down with our curriculum people and just take a look at what is in place. Obviously, being a principal and being an assistant superintendent for instruction, I'm very immersed in instruction, and I feel that that needs to be our focus. Obviously, districts have all other kinds of issues that we have to deal with in terms of transportation and funding and all those things, but it comes down to curriculum instruction and assessment. And I really, I've got to be a learner over the next few weeks or even months and just get immersed and find out what is going on and how can I contribute, and then what direction do we need to go from that point.
If you're so focused on curriculum, as it sounds like your background is in instruction, what are your thoughts about the recent FUBAR, for lack of a better term, with ISTEP, and your thoughts about testing and that sort of thing?
Yeah. Well, we're in that age of accountability. It's really changed since I was a classroom teacher. I left the classroom in 1997. But I've been very involved in instruction ever since that, obviously, in my positions. Assessment is very important. Data is very important. We have to follow the data and see what it is telling us. I come from a district where data drives everything. And you asked about the ISTEP glitch. I don't think you can find anybody in education that is very happy about that glitch. And in Marion and East Allen and districts across the state, we all worked very hard this year to show our community what a great job we were doing and the advancements we were making in student achievement. And that's the glitch with ISTEP is something that is bothersome to us. So, and I know a meeting is going on in Indianapolis Friday and later on that hopefully we get some more information about the direction we're headed with ISTEP and those glitches.
This district has been fractured for years between basically the communities, the disparate communities that make up East Allen. What do you think you bring to the table that's going to help ease some of those concerns?
I tell you, I think diversity is a strength of a district. We are a diverse district. Marion is a very diverse district. I think what I really have to do is, it would be probably a little bit premature for me to talk about my assessment of the entire situation, but I need to get engaged, meet with people, find out what their concerns are. But the attitude in East Allen is going to be, and I'm sure it has been, that all children can learn.
Where are you on the iPad initiative that this district has undertook?
Just coming up to speed. In fact, they just had a 2-hour meeting here, and we discussed several issues. And I applaud the district for being very aggressive. You know, we live in a global society now. Our students have to be connected. If we don't teach them how to use technology and how to capitalize on technology, then we're missing the boat. So again, I know we have a tremendous initiative in technology in East Allen, and I need to learn more about it.
How familiar are you with the redesign efforts of the previous superintendent and the board?
Again, still a learning curve. One of the things that the board asked me in the interview process was to come up with an organizational chart, you know, what it should look like. And I thought that was a great question for the board to have. And I felt, probably asked Neil, but I felt like my presentation on the organizational chart, what I had proposed, I thought it went over well with the board, but we haven't had really a chance to debrief since that presentation. But I was very encouraged by that question, that the board was interested in. What should the organization of East Allen look like? And was asking that of the candidates to come in prepared to give a presentation. So definitely something that needs to be looked at. But what I really have to say is, you know, I've had a lot of success with teams I've worked on and initiatives that we've done, but you cannot just take an initiative that happened to work in another district, transplant it in a new district, and expect that that is going to work. That's why I need to spend the next several weeks learning, understanding what's going on in the district. And I'm very excited about that. Can't wait to learn more.
You said that you'll spend some time learning, but already you have, I mean, just a few months before the school year starts, and you know, that the Title I application has to be done by next week. So, I guess how are you trying to balance that learning with just diving in right now?
That's a great question, and yes, I do have to dive in right away. Fortunately, we have a lot of title dollars in Marion, so I have some familiarity with title. We talked about it briefly this morning with the cabinet. I'm having a more intense, focused meeting this afternoon. But what we will produce and recommend to the board will be a team effort. I value the work that's been done to this point prior to my coming to the district. I want to find out what the staff is thinking, what the cabinet is thinking, come up with a recommendation that collaboratively that we're all comfortable with, and then share it with Neil, and then have Neil share that with the board. And hopefully it'll be a good plan.
What steps do you think you might be taking to help reassure the community that this is solid leadership here? There has been such, I think, distrust and a disconnect between the community and perhaps the previous administration. How do you hope to rectify that?
Meeting with community members, being out there, engaging in the community. I expect to be very engaged, very visible in the buildings before and after school, community events, extracurricular events, being approachable. I hope that people feel very comfortable approaching me and sharing their opinions, their ideas. I'm a very open kind of person, but I think I just need to establish those genuine, caring relationships with everyone, with the community, patrons, parents, staff, students. And that's one of the things I'm looking most forward to, is getting out into the community and meeting people and hearing their concerns.
I apologize, I walked in a little bit late, but I was wondering if you could speak very specifically to your experience in Marion as far as turning around low-performing schools and how you will bring that to East Allen and implement that.
Okay. Yeah, I'll have to see exactly what will work in East Allen that worked in Marion. We have in East Allen some schools that are 8-step process schools. That was one of the first initiatives that I began working on under the direction of my new superintendent 3 years ago, was the 8-step process out of Brazosport, Texas. We've had great success with it. At the same time, we established professional learning communities in our district, and we really hadn't utilized those before. A year later, we became a TAP district. TAP is the System for Teacher and Student Advancement, and if you'd like more information on TAP, if you just Google TAP system, there's like a nice 7-minute video that kind of walks you through exactly what TAP is. There's I think 46 TAP schools in Indiana. Indiana got, I believe, it's a $42 million TIF grant. TIF is Teacher Incentive Fund grant. 7.1 million of that came to Marion. So we have 7 what are called TAP schools. And a couple of neat things about TAP schools are that they have embedded professional development once a week during the regular teacher day. And it's led by master and mentor teachers. And then there's a system set up for performance-based compensation. So we have that in place. We also use what was called STI formative assessments, which was every 3 weeks. You give assessments in English and math, and then we expanded that from ELA and math to social studies and science. So every 3 weeks we're seeing if our students have mastered the standards. If they've not, they go into tutorials. If they have, they go into enrichment classes. And like I said, we already have 8-step in East Allen, so it's not like I'd have to bring that here. Maybe just take a look at how it's working. But one of the most important things I'd like to examine, I mentioned to the cabinet this morning, that we do in Marion are called war rooms. And a war room is kind of like a data room on steroids. It's you track all of your data for everything. You track career and college readiness, graduation rate, attendance, discipline, ELA, and math. English Language Arts. Sometimes as educators we throw out all those acronyms and abbreviations. We think everybody knows what they mean, so stop me anytime that you need to. The war room was started at Marion High School in December of 2010. Tremendous effect because we tracked the data. We had people who were in charge of certain data points. They reported out to the Central Office Administration once a week. And that accountability made a difference, and now there's war rooms in all of the Marion schools. So Will war rooms work in East Allen? We'll have to find out. It is something I'd like to explore with the principals and see how they feel about tracking data that way.
Kind of branching off that, the staff here have experienced a lot of initiatives and changes in recent years. What can you say about your leadership style that you think would help kind of rally everyone together around some of the changes that you're planning to make?
Right. I am a transformational leader, meaning I'm a very collaborative leader. I like to get everyone's input. I like us to come to consensus when we can. We cannot always come to consensus. As a building principal, I would always listen to people's concerns and give them input on decisions, but ultimately I had to be comfortable with that decision. That'll be the same way as superintendent. But what I'm hoping is an atmosphere where people know that they can approach me, they can share their ideas with me. I want to be approachable. I want to be in the buildings, and I want to be out in the community, and I know I've already said that, but I want people to say, oh my gosh, it's great. Ken's here today, he's in the building. I got something I want to talk to him about. Instead of, oh no, the superintendent left his office today. I wonder what the problem is today. I hope he doesn't come to see me. So I want to have that open, that they're excited to see me when I come in the buildings, not anxious or concerned when they see me coming into the buildings. So that's my leadership style. I smile a lot, and I laugh a lot, and I like to have fun, and I like, my wife says I'm crazy, but I get up every morning. I can't wait to get to school to see what we can do today. So we'll see. So that's.
Are you familiar? I'm sorry.
Yeah, go ahead.
Are you familiar with the? Have you had time to take the lay of the land as far as facilities are concerned? Obviously, you've got some upgrading projects going on. Have you seen many, if any, of the buildings?
I've seen some of the buildings just because being Northwest Allen and competing athletically,
Yes.
and being a coach at Norwell, and I've seen some of the renovations that have happened in some of our buildings here in East Allen. We spoke briefly this morning about some of the building concerns, but I really need to come up to speed. But being from Allen County, at least I know where all the buildings are, and that's good. And I think that familiarity with Allen County will really help me, and the fact that, like I said, I've lived and worked here most of my life.
Can you tell us a little bit about your family?
Yes.
You're married.
Yeah, I'm married. My wife Kay and I, we've been married, I hope I don't get this wrong now, 33 years.
Okay.
She has been the administrative assistant to Mike Portel at IPFW, so she's going through a transition in her career. Mike's been transitioned to Chancellor Emeritus. I have two boys. Nathan is a graduate of Norwell High School, and then Purdue Forestry graduate in 2006. Eric was a Carroll High School graduate because, of course, I worked at Norwell when Nathan went to school, and I worked at Carroll when Eric went to school. Eric's 2010 graduate of Otterbein College in Westerville, Ohio. So two boys. No grandkids, no marriages yet.
And how do you spell K?
K?
Yeah.
K-A-Y.
And Eric?
Eric is with a C, E-R-I-C. And Nathan's pretty much, I think, the only way I've seen Nathan spelled, N-A-T-H-A-N.
You mentioned in your earlier comments that you saw one of our strengths as being our diversity here in the district. And as a reporter that covers a lot of things here in New Haven, I see a lot of positive things going on in East Allen. And I'm wondering, such as East Allen University,
Yes.
are there any particular programs that you see as a strength that attracted you to East Allen? Or anything you're excited about maybe, I don't know, working with in the future?
I'm just excited about the opportunity to impact the lives of 9,500 students. This is a large district. East Allen is a large district. So I just can't wait to learn more. Not to dodge or avoid your question. It's just we are diverse, and I think that's a strength. But I think diversity also creates things that make us look at specific programs. And I need to see what programs are in place and maybe what we can add. I know Definitely have to look at disproportionality issues, as you know, in Marion, we have those disproportionality issues as well. But again, I think diversity is a strength, and I think benefits, I think students who attend diverse school communities will benefit from these experiences, and it prepares them for life in a global society.
As president of the board, we are very, very excited to have Ken on board. We think that we're poised to really make some leaps forward in progress, and we're really looking forward to it. And we think we made a good pick.
How important was it that he is local? I mean, again, that's some of the complaints from last time were.
Him being local is works out well for him. Had it been somebody else, we would have encouraged that person to become local as well. With Ken living in Fort Wayne, that's just an extra perk.
There had been quite the contentious relationship between the board and the previous superintendent.
That's water under the bridge. Let's move forward. So.
What would you like to, obviously last night you talked about, you had to deal with Title I issues today. What would you like to see with the board, as the board president? What would you like to see, Mr. Folks tackle first?
Well, the Title I thing, because there's deadlines, we have to have those grants by the end of the month. So we tabled the motion, and we'll bring it back next Tuesday when we have ratification. Then, you know, we're gonna have to, there's a lot of trust involved here.
Yes.
Okay.
Are you, it's not ideal for him to have to hit the ground running, is it?
I don't know how to answer that.
He has to.
Yeah, he has to. I mean, yeah, we have to.
What was the one characteristic or quality about Dr. Folks that you think really put him head and shoulders above any of the other candidates the board may have considered?
By all accounts, he is a man of integrity, honesty, and carries a great deal of respect in the education community, and that's what we wanted.
Starts July 1st?
That would be our intent, yes.